Hi, my name is Tara Conolly,
I'm Xochilt Ponce.
I'm Alexandra Gallegos.
and this is our presentation on language acquisition theories. Okay, so we did our presentation on comprehensible input. So to start, what is comprehensible input? It is an instructional method that offers a way of learning a new language by listening to or reading things that are just a little bit harder than what a student already understands. Teachers are able to provide input through visual and audible instruction that allows students to understand most, but not necessarily all of the language. Students are able to follow most of what's being said or written, while parts of language that are new and challenging are being incorporated simultaneously. Content can be understood by listeners despite not being able to understand all of the words and structures included through guessing and inferring the meanings of new words and grammar rules from the context of the known parts. This makes it easier to gradually understand and use the new language. Students need input so they can produce output. It's like climbing a staircase where each step is a bit higher than the last, fostering steady improvement without causing the feeling of being overwhelmed by the difficulty and amount of information. So, how did the theory of comprehensible input come to life? The theory of comprehensible input was founded by American linguist, education researcher, and activist Dr. Stephen Krashen. Dr. Krashen's theory was that learners acquire language when they are exposed to comprehensible input. By exposing students to new and challenging material in connection with material that they do understand, learners then go beyond their current level of language proficiency in a gradual way to encourage positive and fluent language development. The theory requires the inclusion of the learner's current level of proficiency, as well as a level beyond, which is defined as I plus 1. I being the current level of proficiency, and plus 1 being the level beyond proficiency.
So now, what is the impact comprehensible input has had on education? There are many beneficial benefits that have come from comprehensive input. These benefits include building up the language library of the learners, retaining new knowledge, solidifying the target languages, vocabulary, and the meanings, having relatable/instructional content that captures the attention of the learner. These are only some of the benefits from this theory. So how can comprehensible input be ensured? Implementing comprehensible input is ensuring an interactive and relatable lesson. Some of the strategies include identification, being able to identify and understand where the learner's proficiency levels are currently. Secondly, being able to set proficiency goals. This means to implement scaffolding, since it will go hand in hand with reading, writing, speaking, and listening. The third strategy is adapted speech. This is to use less complex vocabulary during the lesson and to enunciate when necessary. The fourth strategy is using and implementing visuals and graphics whenever possible. Now, the last strategy is to make sure the lesson is objective driven, meaning to make the objective known and referring to it often. There are only a couple of strategies that could be used to ensure comprehensible input. These are only some of the strategies.
So, today, class, we are going to identify and apply 5 new vocab words through an interactive activity called Word Detective. Okay. So, like I said, today we're going to do an activity. So, before we get into that, we are going to go over our vocab words. Okay. So, we're going to and knowing that we're gonna work on our vocab words, before we go into that as well, we're gonna create a chart. Okay, this chart is called the Zone of Proximal Development chart. And the purpose of this chart is that it's going to help us to see what we don't know and what we do know when it comes to our vocab words, okay? So really quick, I want you to take out a piece of paper and we're going to create our chart, okay? And it's going to be a simple chart and it's going to be a 3-circle chart, okay? And I'll take you step by step. So the first chart, what I want you to do is after you do your second and then your third little circle, the first line inside the circle, you're going to put what I don't know. Okay. So it should look like this. The first one, what I don't know. Okay. And then in the second one, you're going to do what I can do with help, or what I know with help. Sorry, what I know with help. Okay. And in the last final one, in the a small circle, you're going to put what I know, because you're going to write what you know independently, okay? So now, class, we're going to go over our vocab words, okay? I'm going to say the word, and as I say the word, I want you to write that word down. And while you're writing it, I will say the definition, okay? So I do not want you to write down the definition. All I'm simply asking is that you write down the word as we repeat it, okay? And I will say the definition. So our first word, and I will show you the word, okay, so you know. Our first word is earth. Okay, our first word is earth. Earth is the third planet from the sun in our solar system. Okay. Again, I'm going to say the definition again, okay? Earth is the third planet from the sun in our solar system. Our next word is gravity. Gravity. That is our next word. Gravity. Gravity is a pulling force that works across space. It is a pulling force that works across space. Okay, perfect. Good job. Our next word is team. That is our next word, okay? Our next word is team. Team is a group of people on one of the sides in a sports event or game. It is a group of people on one of the sides in a sports event or game. Okay, team. Okay. Our next word is ocean. Ocean. This is our next word, ocean. Ocean is areas of salty water that fill enormous basins on the Earth's surface. Okay, it's areas of salty water that fill enormous basins on the Earth's surface. Good. And our last word is insects. Insects are creatures that have bodies with 3 segments that are protected by a hard shell. They have 3 pairs of legs and a pair of antennas. Okay. And if it's hard for you to understand this word, just remember, insects have 3 pairs of legs and a pair of antennas. Okay, good. Now that we went over our vocab words, I want you to fill the first part of that chart that says what I don't know. For example, you can write down, you don't know what the word means, a word, one of our vocab words, or maybe you can't think of an example of one of those vocab words, but I'm going to give you a minute or two and just write what you don't know in that first big circle. And just remember, when you're writing this, there is no wrong or right answer. It's what you intentionally don't know. Okay, this chart is for you. It's for your growth. I'm gonna give you about another 5 seconds. Okay, give me a thumbs up once you're done. Perfect. Good job. So now I'm going to draw a picture, okay? And I want you to guess what vocab word it means, okay? So like I said, I'm going to draw a picture and you're going to guess that vocab word, okay? And you are going to write it, okay? So let's start with this picture first. Now, my pictures might not be perfect, but I did my best. Okay, so remember, yes, team, there are people in it, but remember that our vocab word was team, okay? Team. Perfect. Okay, let's do another one. Perfect, Tara. Good job. Thank you for fixing that. Next word. Not next word, next picture. Okay, so remember, yes, there is water in the ocean, but remember our vocab word was ocean. Okay, Xochilt, ocean. But you are right, there is water in the ocean. Perfect, thank you for fixing that. Okay, let's do another one. This one may be a little hard because I couldn't really draw it. Gravity, good job. Very good. Okay, now let's do this one. Good job, yes, Earth, that's right. And we're going to do our last picture. Perfect. Good job. Okay. Does anyone want to volunteer and maybe pick a vocab word and say a definition? Does anyone want to volunteer?
I will.
Cara?
I'll do insects.
Uh-huh.
Insects are a bug that has two antenna and 3 legs on each side.
Perfect. Good. So now what we're going to do is now I want you to take your chart out again, okay? And I want you to fill in the part that says what I can do with help. Okay, for an example, this can look like you can write, well, I know what the word earth means, or I know what earth looks like. Okay, after we've drawn pictures and we've gone over definitions, you can start to write what you know with help, what you've done with me that has helped you understand this vocab word or whichever vocab word you choose. And remember, there is no right or wrong answer. This is for your own eyes and for your own growth so you can see. And don't worry about misspelled words or grammar because this is kind of like a rough draft, okay? This is just to get our ideas on this chart, on this circle. And when you are done, I want you to give me a thumbs up. Perfect. Okay, so now what we're going to do next is we are going to look at our vocab words and we are going to use alkaline boxes or maps, and we are going to sound out each phoneme and then we're going to blend the word together, okay? So let's start with our first word, okay? Let's do the word earth. Let's do the word earth, okay? So get out your little maps, little boxes. We're going to do the first word earth, okay? This is my box, right? And then you can go, oh, sorry, wrong way. Earth. Earth. Okay, that's what it should look like. Perfect. Good job. So now let's do our second one, okay? Our second one is ocean. Okay. ocean. I'm going to give you like a second. Okay. Perfect. So let's sound this out, right? Let's blend it. O sh e n ocean. Can anyone tell me what the vowel teams are in this word? Xochi?
It's going to be O, E, and A.
Good job. Yes. O, E, and A. Very good. Would anyone like to volunteer and do a word and share with us?
I could do one.
Go ahead.
I'll do team. Team with
Team.
E.
Good job.
Team. And the E and
Perfect.
the A makes
you know-
a sound, right?
Yep. Very good. Sochi, do you want to try one?
Yeah. I'm going to do insects.
Mhm.
This is how I wrote it. So,
Good.
insects.
Perfect. So our last word that we're going to do is gravity. Okay. So I'm going to give you like a second to put it in your map. Okay. And it should look like this. Okay. G-R-A-V-I-T-E. Gravity. Perfect. Very good. Good job, Soshi. Good. So that now that we know how to blend our words and use our phonemes, right? Now what I want you to do is I want you to create one sentence using two of the vocab words we went through today. And when you're done, I'm going to ask you guys to do pair and share with your shoulder partner. So I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to write one sentence using two of the vocab words, not two separate sentences, just one sentence using two of the vocab words. And when you are done, you can just give me a thumbs up so I know we can move on. Perfect. Thank you, Sochi. Okay, good. So now we're gonna do pair and share with your shoulder partners. So whoever wants to start first with their partners can go right ahead.
I can go first.
Okay, Sochi.
The sentence I wrote is on planet Earth, there is gravity.
Good job.
I wrote the Earth has oceans.
Good. So now that we wrote our sentences, what I want you to do is now we're going to fill out that last part of that chart, right? So now the last part of that chart says what I can do independently, right? So it can look like, well, now I know the vocab word in a sentence, or now I know the definition of a vocab word, and you can be specific like insect, earth, ocean, gravity, teams. Okay, so I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to just really quick write down what you know now independently. And this is going to show you from the beginning to what you didn't know. And now you probably now know stuff that you didn't know before, which is good. That's what the whole chart is about. That's the goal, is to see your growth from that first circle to the middle. And then just give me a thumbs up when you're done. Perfect. Good. So now that we did our chart and everything, who would like to share about how they felt about this activity?
I thought
Go
it
ahead.
was, I liked it. I thought it was fun. And I liked that you explained what the words meant and gave pictures.
Awesome. Sochi, would you like to share out?
Yeah, I liked how this activity can show us what we learned and what we didn't know before the lesson.
Perfect. Well, good job.
Did we finish the lesson? Are we all good?
Yeah, we're good now.
All right.